all the time. I feel like that happens.
Like,
I'm
is it just the
do I
phone?
sound like that?
Or it's just the morning voice. You know, when you wake up first thing in the morning and you sound like a frog.
So I have a really funny story. So I never had beer before.
No.
I've never had beer, right? And
Wow.
it's not like I haven't consumed.
Beverages.
I really think we three could be siblings.
Yeah, I think so.
We really
Living
could.
in
Like
the
you
same
were our
house.
extended, I think,
I'm
third
like
sibling that was.
I'm like the adopted child.
Most difficult thing in the world to work with a child actor. Ask me. I've given grief to people.
So I repeat a lot of my clothes. I repeat most of my jeans. I repeat most of my, because she's the phase of life that she's at. She won't have the time to look at herself in the mirror.
A single father, the guy from East Delhi is how my director Archit and Colin told me about it. And what I loved was for the first time, it was very interesting being on a show where these two lovely ladies are leading it, and I felt like a fly on the wall in a lot of the scenes.
Even if it's like, if there are dark circles, then so be it, because they are working very hard.
True.
And a part of business life is to have dark circles.
12th of September on Amazon Prime Video comes a super fun series called Do You Want a Partner? If these two lovely ladies weren't enough, that's Tamannaah and Diana. They're very sharp. Nakuul's also part of the cast. So is Javed Jaffrey, Neeraj Kabi. From me, Hrishi K. Everybody who's watching, listening, don't miss this one. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Yay!
So all the daddy training, man, the real life daddy training is now coming to use in real life.
Totally.
And I have to say, you're doing a pretty good job. So all those years of changing nappies, diapers have come in handy.
It's only been 4 years, but I have to tell you, to shoot with a baby is the toughest job in the world. And the first few days we were doing it together, and you've got to wait when the baby wants to cry, the baby wants to sleep. It's bloody hard, man. No one told me that.
Biggest star on set was that.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Yeah.
You know, the greatest child actor to have lived in India is Kunal Kim.
True.
Kunal's done like hundreds of films as a child actor.
Yeah.
And he says the most difficult thing in the world to work with a child actor. Ask me. I've given grief to people on set on a lighter note. Yeah, but it's not easy. Yeah. And also, all your Parsi antecedents. I couldn't but notice Diana the Parsi. Your community, your Bawajis and
Represented well.
yeah,
no?
total represented. They'll be very, very
They'll
proud,
be proud
of
of me.
you. So
Very large community. Will
very
be proud
large,
of me.
robust community.
I'll probably have 3 new fans.
No, but there's also a flip side. Like Jim Saab told me once, I said, wow, man, you're playing, Dr. Baba and this and that. And he goes, every Parsi I meet says, don't it up.
No pressure at all.
Yeah, no pressure at all. Yeah, but this must be, Tamannaah, one of the most fun shows you've ever worked on, because there's so much of fun. I mean, it has a fair share of emotion and tear-jerking, but overall, it's just such a feel-good show.
Yeah.
You come away feeling good.
Yeah.
As an audience member, I want to know as a cast member.
I'm glad you feel like that, because essentially when we were making the show, this was a very important thing that we wanted to channel, because I have always been a fan of, sitcoms. It's like where you went on a journey and you start watching a character and you like those people in the show, and because you like those people in the show, you want to know what happens in their lives. Like I was a big fan of Ally McBeal when I was growing up.
Oh, yeah.
I used to watch it every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Like very religiously, like tune in and watch. So I felt like when I read this, I felt like this had that sitcom vibe, which makes you feel like it's positive, it's fresh, it's entertaining. So yeah, we tried to do all of that you felt. So I'm so happy you felt that way.
Yeah, I mean, I can still have a bad day and put on an episode of Friends and everything just goes away. I mean, it's
Yeah,
our
completely
favorite
agree.
sitcoms are like, or Ye Jo Hai Zindagi, any of those great sitcoms.
Yeah.
It's just such a wonderful genre. So, it's no spoiler that you play a brewmaster.
Yes.
And to me, that's a craft. I don't know if you consume...
Well put.
Huh?
Well put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you consume the beverage, but would you say you better get better craft in Bangalore or in Mumbai? There's always a debate. Huh? The Bangaloreans will say Bangalore is better. The Bombayites will say Bombay is better.
So I have a really funny story. So
Yeah.
I never had beer before.
No.
I've never had beer, right? And
Wow.
it's not like I haven't consumed
Beverages.
in life, but I've never had beer for some reason. And I remember, I spent a day with a master, brewmaster. His name is Pratik, who's also been a beer consultant on the show. And I spent a day at Rolling Mills. And the first question he asked me was, so what kind of beer do you like? I said, I want to be honest that I've never really had beer. His face dropped. And I think he just went through the next 1 hour because he had to. He was like supposed to do this. But I think through the course of it, he figured that I'm the student who wants to learn and trying to make notes and take photos of how he's doing. And then he's like, and then finally he poured me a brew and I figured this is pretty decent stuff, man. And I think it's through the show because we would end up like pouring so often that I would end up, not the girls, but I would end up chugging the real thing. The girls were very like studious about their approach to work, but I totally had fun doing
Glad
it.
you believe that.
Yeah.
You had him there, huh?
What do you? How do you?
Although
know
Diana,
all of
I
that?
think Diana also did enjoy it.
Nakuul thought he was a smart one.
So I think I became like a convert, and I remember like last 1 year I've been like ordering a fair bit of beverages, man, and it's the bubbly things are good.
My question to you is about the sisterhood of the show. It's beautiful, and it's not a very feminist kind of sisterhood.
No,
I mean,
it was
your
intentional.
relationship with each other, her relationship with her mother, the character's relationship with Shweta's character. There's a lot of this, the feel good. My question is that, I mean, it's rare to see that. It's rare to see shows which show female bonding. It's always about the male bonding, or it's about the romantic relationships.
Exactly.
Nice
Yeah.
to have that kind of female bonding, yeah?
Refreshing for us as well to do that, to be able to do that, because it was so much fun, and I don't know why they don't do more of it. There's so much to play with two women coming together as best friends, and in this case, starting a business together, going through ups and downs in life together, personally, professionally, and as you saw, the show keeps throwing curveballs at you all the time. So, going through just the journey of that together was a lot of fun, and we try to keep it as real as possible. Like you said, it was not like feminist from any angle, because we wanted to stay away from anything preachy. Because then that kind of ruins the feels, So for us, it was just being as natural and as organic and as real life as possible. So we took from our real life friendships wherever we could, situation wise, just the way you speak to your friend, so that it's relatable to people watching. There's always going to be that, and I was thinking about it when I saw the episodes, is most female friendships, whenever there's two girls that are best friends, there's going to be a Shikha and there's going to be an Anayata. So, you kind of tend to want to know who's the Shikha in your relationship and who's the Anayata in your relationship, because both girls are so starkly different personality wise, and yet they balance each other out perfectly.
Well said.
So there was a lot of that, and I think that it was very, very lovely that Prime Video and Dharmatic came together to do this show, because it was a brave move. Like you rightly said, not too many of these are being made where there's two females taking center stage and carrying the show on their shoulders, but they did it beautifully.
So, interviews with Javed Jaffrey are punny experiences.
Yeah.
He'll put a pun out of thin air, like a magician puts
But
something
that's
out of
just
a
hanging
rabbit.
with him. Like even on set, he's
That's
like
what I'm asking you.
randomly
Yeah.
break in.
I don't know how he is on set.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know him
No.
outside. I remember asking his
He's
son
on
once. Mizan, I said, तेरा बाप हमेशा ऐसा है. नहीं यार घर पे तो बड़ा serious है. But he's like that, huh? He's a
All the time.
punny
Yeah, yeah.
person all the time.
24/7.
24/7.
Yeah.
He'll make a pun out of anything.
And it's hilarious every time. Even
And
though you
it's-
know it's coming and you can predict it, it's still you will still laugh.
So you're talking about JJ. So
Yeah.
the puns are going to keep coming even otherwise.
Yeah.
And
All
you
the time.
expect it.
Yeah, but it's fun also. It's so satisfying to see him like crack that, and then you're like, I don't know. It's a joyous moment for us to be there.
So this Delhi wala londa. That's the only way you can describe it. Easy to do or little difficult to do? Did you nail the accent first and then do? And because there are points your demeanor almost reminded me of Hrithik Roshan in Koi Mil Gaya, which is a guy who's like sheer and vulnerable, you know. And at the other end of the spectrum, there's that tough North Indianness to him too. So it's quite, and I mean it as a compliment both ways.
I hear you.
know. So tell me about wrapping your head around the character.
I don't know if it was easy or tough, but I think it was interesting to do. You know, most of my work has happened on television, and those are long-running shows. You know, you play a character for so long that you end up knowing it better than the writer because you're living it every day, right? This was very interesting. It was against the grain of how usually I'm cast. I'm known for the romantic shows I do on TV, and this was like very like unkept, sort of the most unvain role I've ever had, right? There was nothing heroic about it, and that's what I loved. It was a single father, the guy from East Delhi is how my director Archit and Colin told me about it. And what I loved was for the first time, it was very interesting being on a show where, you know, these two lovely ladies are leading it, and I felt like a fly on the wall in a lot of the scenes, which was so interesting for me because usually on television you're used to like doing stuff, and when you're doing stuff, you can't observe stuff. And here it was so much fun to just see their process and then to see how can I add, because Bobby is the guy who adds to like whatever they are building, right? And it literally metaphorically also kind of was that, because sometimes when I wasn't shooting, but I'd be bored in a van, I'd come see them shoot, and I could get a sense of where their equation as best friends was going in the show, and that kind of helped me play off how do I want to play him interestingly. I think the choice here was how do I make this guy interesting, you know.
I'll tell you what I also found interesting, and I'm sure the ladies will agree with me, is that people who are very, very involved with their work, whatever that work might be, the work of a brewmaster, the work of a painter, an architect, also tend to be space cadets. And sometimes you could feel that in Nakuul's character, a bit of a space cadet.
Yeah.
You know, you have to, the kind of guy you have to tap and say, come back here, you know, that kind of thing.
Eccentric freak a little
Eccentric,
bit.
that's the word.
So I remember the first day of shoot, I was like, I kept Tamannaah and I have met like long back, and we have a close common friend, you know. So I remember asking her like, is it landing? And I remember asking both of them like, is it landing? Because I didn't know, it was very different from the kind of stuff I'm used to doing. But like I mean, I think we found
it's landed, bro.
Yeah, okay.
And the nose ring was your idea, Colin's idea?
Man, so interesting story, okay. So, again, like on television, I get to play this guy who's usually this like, you know, typical very sort of rich, aspirational business guy, owns the world, like some people we know in this country, in this city. But I said, okay, this is an eccentric guy, let's make him fun. So, early in the year, I pierced my nose. I said, because I don't want to be doing the same stuff I've been doing, and if people don't see me differently, it'll never happen. Archit saw me and he's like, okay, I tested, I read with Diana. Of course, she was on the show already. And then he said, okay, we'll remove that and we'll do this. And so very sheepishly in the look test, I said, take a few photos. I think it'll land. And I took a few photos and I think the platform liked it, Archit, Colin liked it. And then I said, tattoo kare, kuch banaye interesting Punjabi mein. So it was very collaborative, you know, and they kind of went with how I saw it.
Diana, Tamannaah, the fash is out of control. I love how you guys, I mean, you look $1 million even otherwise, but I like the whole branded Gap, this, that, you know, it's just, every scene was like, what are they going to wear now? And it's really good. So tell me about, were these stylists for the show? Were they working with your stylists? The look, the feel, the design, the clothes?
So Lipakshi styled the whole show, and I think she's done a brilliant job. Every character has their very individual sense of style that comes through, you know, when you're watching the show. I don't think that the goal was to make us fashionable per se, because we are playing regular city girls who are, but you know, I suppose city girls who know how to dress and who enjoy their clothes and dressing up and stuff, but who are also, you know, serious about what they wanted to do in life. So, which is, you know, start a business and all of that. So, I think the fashion, at least we tried to make it by the way, but it was, I mean, I also really enjoyed what I wore, because it's also very me. It's the way I would also dress. on a regular basis. So it felt very comfortable for me to be in that, you know, it was like corporate chic kind of you know, smart casuals.
Yeah, you know, like for example, when you guys go for business meetings, you know, there's a distinctive thing of, hey, they're going for a pitch or they're going for an investment meeting. And then when you guys are just hanging out, you know, it's different. And I personally enjoyed watching those looks. I don't know if you enjoyed,
Yeah,
you know,
for
transitioning.
For me, when I mean, also Lipakshi is somebody I work with. I met her through this show, but I work with her a lot and I enjoy working with her a lot. I think she and the whole team was very cognizant that we want to present two very different women. And while Diana plays someone who would normally dress in corporate chic, my character had to be very free spirited, so it's bohemian in the way she puts her things together. And my character is not vain at all, so I repeat a lot of my clothes. I repeat most of my jeans, I repeat most of my, you know, because she's the phase of life that she's at, she won't have the time to look at herself in the mirror. So, so everything that happens, you know, it's like, and also like if there are bracelets, then there are like some 500 bracelets on her, which she's probably collected. And then you know how when you're working towards something that's bigger than your life, you start, you're lazy to take things off. So you're only like putting things on, but you're not taking anything off.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
So
yeah.
I think this character was going through that phase where she just like, she'll put things on, but then you'll find that if she put it on 5 days ago, it's still there on her hand, you know. So the styling was done from the perspective of the characters, which is what I found really interesting. And I think I was particular that I don't want like the face to look like there's makeup on it. Even if it's like, if there are dark circles, then so be it, because they are working very hard.
True.
And a part of business life is to have dark circles. So
Did you hold a day job before you became an actor? Did you, either
In real
of you?
life?
In real life, yeah. You don't have to give me the name of the company, but
I
what was it
started working
like?
when I was like, I just
Straight
passed
into-
my
into
10th
the movies,
standard.
no?
Passed my 10th standard and I started working.
I was.
So you didn't do a non-acting job?
No, never
Before.
did a non-act.
I did a non-acting internship while
was-
I
where
was
was
in
that?
college. Do you remember 360 Degrees? The
Yeah. The
right
event
next to you
management-
guys. Yeah,
event
yeah,
management
So I was with them, and then before that I was with O&M for a little while. So I've done a few of the internships during my summer vacations, because when we were in college at Xavier's, they used to encourage you to do that.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I studied. I did my BMM, and which is Bachelor of Mass Media, and I specialized in advertising. So O&M made sense for me to do at that time. And then the next job that I did was with 360 Degrees, just to try my hand at what it was like to do events. And then after that, in my last year of college is when I started modeling as a part-time job, just to make some money, because it was easy and, you know, I enjoyed it and whatever. So when I finished my college degree, it just became full-time, the modeling job.
Why I ask you this is very pertinent. I think we're very lucky to be in the media, in the field that we are in, because it's less patriarchal. But I notice in the show, for example, when the girls are trying very hard to pitch, to get investors, this and that, when a male voice comes on, I don't want to give a spoiler away because it's a very funny part of the show. But when they think they're talking to a male voice, they immediately come around. And I'm like, despite us being such an emancipated nation, there's still miles to go, you know. So you wouldn't have faced that much of it because you were
No.
still a media girl.
Yes.
You know, so in that aspect, apart from the fun in the show, a couple of points it makes you go, whoa, you know, this stuff is happening. And you must have thought of that, both of
Yes, exactly.
I think patriarchy is everywhere. Media people face it differently than the rest of the world does. But in the show, this voice thing is very relevant, because many a times I've spoken on the phone and I've had people going like, "Hanji sir."
Yeah, all the time. I feel like that happens.
Like,
I'm
is it just the
do I
phone?
sound like that?
Or it's just the morning voice, you know, when you wake up first thing in the morning and you sound like a frog.
No, it's
Yeah.
the sexy, husky Tamannaah voice.
All that.
I love the relationship that you have with your brother on the show. It's,
Oh,
Yeah.
love.
It's-
you know,
Actually,
there's a
it's
lot
one
of
my
love.
favorite relationship.
It's a wonderful relationship, but that's how siblings are. You know, take the piss out of each other.
You know, the crazy part is that I don't have a sibling.
Wow,
I'm an only
yeah, you're
child,
an
so
only
that was
child.
this was it was new for me to do this, but it just happened so naturally, and for some reason I feel like Sufi could be my brother, so it was one of those equations that came to me. I have cousins. I mean, I have a cousin who I'm very close to, who's younger than me, and so I kind of kept equating it to that and taking from that equation. But I enjoyed this brother-sister relationship as well. It was really fun. to play.
Beautiful.
I really think we
Yeah.
three could be siblings.
Yeah, I think so.
We really
Living
could.
in
Like
the
you
same
were our
house.
extended, I think,
I'm
third
like
sibling. That was.
I'm like that adopted child.
No, but even
तुमको कचरे के डब्बे से उठाया.
even the relationship that you have with Ranvijay. I mean,
Yeah.
all of us have gone through this long distance relationship pangs. All of us have gone through this, hey, career versus personal life, prioritizing, and these are things that really speak to anybody who's watching the show. I mean, it's so naturally done and well done. So
Thank you.
great stuff.
Thank you.
So my time is up. It's 12th of September. It's a brand new original series on Amazon Prime Video. Please watch it. Do you want a partner? Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank you.
94.3 Radio 1.